Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I do have a Chille video. There's a couple of them. I'm just getting caught up since I've also been working on the new channel. I'm a little behind on this one, but I am going to get caught up today. Anyway, so Chille shows a video on his live stream, which, again, hypocrite. He goes after everybody else who makes commentary videos using his videos, and yet it's okay and it's fair game for him to use other people's videos to make videos. So, you know, yeah, it's just Chille. He only does copyright strikes because he wants people who tell the truth to be silenced. Because the idiot who claims he's fighting for the First Amendment actually does not believe in the First Amendment. What can I say? It's the truth. Anyways, so let's watch Chille make a complete ass out of himself like he always does. Enjoy the video.
Let me share this video with you, and I just want you guys to watch it because you have to watch this. He tells them to leave me alone. He says, I haven't had good experiences with cops. Leave me alone. And they don't. They just refuse to leave the guy alone. It's a fairly short video. So, all right, I'll let you guys watch it. You be the judge.
9 times out of 10, if people are telling the police to leave them alone because they've had a bad experience with police, they're probably hiding something that they don't want the police to find out, which actually is the case this time.
Tell me what you think, okay?
There's no reason to lie to us when we're just trying to help. The only thing I was trying to do is help. You guys could have been long down the road, probably 15, 20 minutes ago down the road, if you would have just said, here's my ID, and been done, right?
He doesn't want to give him his ID.
It would have solved so much.
It really honestly doesn't matter if he wants to give his ID or not. The point is, the police stopped to see if these people needed help, which was a nice thing to do. However, they still need to ID them. This could be a stolen vehicle. They could have just committed a crime. They could be wanted. They could have warrants. This is why they ask for ID. It's not something that's so hard to understand. It's actually common sense. I mean, they did stop to ask if they needed help, which is great. All they had to do was give their ID. But again, like I said, if they're going to refuse to give their ID, then they're more than likely hiding something.
But you guys have...
No, he's going back and forth.
It adds.
Moving forward.
It's not all cops are bad, right? I've been very...
It's okay.
I
had a herniated disc. I mean, I kind of just...
Let me go check you real quick, Brandon.
So, she got attacked by cops previously. They don't like the cops. This couple no longer trusts or likes the cops. Looks like they have a car top carrier here. They're going somewhere. They're traveling.
Well, technically, Chille, the passenger is traveling, but the person driving is actually driving. And if she was attacked by the police just don't turn around and attack everybody just because they see you walking. She was more than likely tackled during an arrest that she was resisting or running from. I mean, that's usually the only time the police are going to take you down, is if you resist or you take off running and resist. They don't just come out of the bushes, yell, huh, and tackle you to the ground and attack you. It just don't work that way. I don't know about you guys, but she doesn't look too terrified of the police. I mean, she's calmly leaning up against her car, talking with this officer. I mean, somebody who was that terrified of police would not be just sitting there so calm, so nonchalant, having a conversation.
All right. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
So now watch. The cops just walk up to you and just grab you. They don't walk up and say, look, you got a warrant. Let him do what he's going to do and film him. He's not going to get far on the freeway. Don't even chase him. Just let him do whatever he's going to do. But he doesn't walk up and say, hey, you got a warrant. You know.
Whoa. So you want the officer who just found out that this guy has a warrant to just go ahead and let him run? Just let him do what he's going to do? No, dummy. That's not how these things work. If the police find out you have a warrant means that you are wanted by the police and you are to be brought in by the police to face whatever actions are coming at you because of a law you've broken. Yes, he's not going to walk up to the man and say, hey, just thought I'd let you know you have a couple warrants. I'll give you 5 seconds head start. No. The reason they walk up to you and they immediately begin to detain you for the arrest is because they know that more than likely, if they just walk up and say that you have a warrant, after these two have already tried shooing the police away because they had something to hide, like I said in the beginning, they're not going to give them that opportunity to take off. So no, they're not going to tell you that there's a warrant until they have at least half the handcuff on you or the full set of handcuffs on you.
I don't want to. Look, he just walks up as though he can do whatever the hell he wants to you. And that's the problem.
Well, technically, Chille, the problem is dummies like you who give bad legal advice so that people can get in more trouble. That's the problem. And yes, at this point, when the officer found out that he has a warrant, he has every right to go to this person and detain him and arrest him. Every right. Why? Because it's his job. I know you don't know what a job is, but pay attention because these two officers have jobs and you'll maybe learn what it's like to have one of those things called a job.
All right. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. I want to have you turn around for a minute. All right. Turn. No.
Hey, I'm not going in cuffs.
Brandon, we're not doing this. Listen to me.
Hey,
Brandon.
I wonder why he doesn't want to go in torture cuffs.
not.
We're done.
Who gives a shit why he doesn't want to go in handcuffs? This is the whole reason why the cop didn't just nonchalantly walk up to him and say, hey, Brandon, you got some warrants. Turn around. No, because we already see he's going to resist. So if the cop had said that, he would have taken off running. He wouldn't have taken off running in the street. He more than likely would have taken off running to the right. And, well, there's not much to the right but darkness and grass. And God knows there might be a field back there or a forest or whatever. So this is the reason why they handcuff you first.
I'm not going in cuffs.
Hey, Brandon. We're done. Stop.
No.
Brandon.
No.
Stop. Brandon.
What?
Stop. If you don't stop, I'm adding charges to you.
He doesn't want to go to the dungeon because of how horrible it is.
You're going to get...
Well, here's a thought. First of all, it's called a jail, not a dungeon. We don't live in the fucking Middle Ages. Get it right, Chille. Nobody is going to use your stupid slogans of dungeon and torture cuffs. You're an idiot. He doesn't want to go to jail because he doesn't want to go to jail. But guess what? If you don't want to go to jail, don't break the fucking law. I at least even learned that after my first and only arrest in my life. I don't ever want to do it again, so I'm not going to break the law. It's easy. Don't want to go to jail? Don't want to be in handcuffs? Don't break the law.
Sir, charges.
Stop. That's going to get him to calm right down, threatening with charging him more.
Stop. All right, Brandon, we're done.
Well, for normal people who are not worried about several warrants under their belt, it would calm them down. But he obviously is looking at some time in jail. So, yeah, he's going to try and get away.
Done. Get your hand. Stop. Stop resisting. Brandon. Christine, stay out of the car.
Do it.
Christine, stay out.
What are you doing? What are you
Christine, stay out of the car.
Protecting me. We had bear spray.
Christine, please step backwards.
Stop.
Please.
Please let me go, please.
Christine, please step back.
I'm begging
Yes.
you.
Christine.
Why do they have to take him down? Why does he have to go in torture cuffs right this second?
I don't know. Why did he have to break the law? Why did he have to make those life decisions to end up with warrants? That if he ever got caught, he would get arrested. And she could sit there and beg and plead all she wants. Where was she when he was breaking the law? Why wasn't she begging and pleading for sweet little old Brandon to not break the law so that eventually at some point he won't be arrested for breaking said law? Chille, you're dumb. Everything you say is going to get somebody hurt. This is how you get tased. This is how you get rushed to the ground. This is how people can get hurt because they're resisting an arrest. And you're just sitting there telling everybody to resist or take off running. No. Absolutely not. Your wording and your advice is going to get somebody seriously injured or even killed one day. And that's why you shouldn't be allowed to throw out all of your bullshit, illegal advice. And I say illegal because you legally should not be giving advice. You're not a constitutional law scholar. In order to be a constitutional law scholar, you have to be a constitutional lawyer. You are neither. You are just a homeless little nobody out here giving legal advice when you shouldn't be. And giving really bad advice on top of that.
Why can't they talk to him first? Why can't they have a talk with him? Let him do what he's going to do. You're not getting away.
What? So now you want them to sit him down, give him some milk and cookies and explain that he has a warrant? And if he gets up and runs, just, okay, he ran, never mind. We'll let the next state take care of it. That's not how this works. You say that you're all for law and order, but then you talk this shit, which proves you don't give a shit about law and order. You talk about defunding the police, but yet you talk about being for law and order. You only say what you think is going to make you money that week. You lie and manipulate your followers so horribly that they can't even tell when you're lying anymore.
It's so frustrating.
Listen to me.
Please,
I need you to stop. Please back up for me.
I'm begging you.
Back up for me.
Please, I'm begging you. Don't do
Christine.
this. We're gonna die.
No, you're not.
We
Christine,
are gonna die.
I need
They're
you back.
trying to kill us. They tried to kill us in there.
You're going next.
Please don't. Please.
You hear what she just said? They tried to kill us in there.
Oh, shut up, Chille. Nobody tried to kill them. Shut up.
Jail. They tried to. You think she's lying?
Yes.
We're gonna die.
No,
I
you're
do.
not.
We
Christine,
are gonna
I
die.
need
They're
you back.
trying to kill us.
They're trying to kill us. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe her. If you believe her that the people who work for the state could be trying to kill her.
Actually, what it sounds like is somebody has a little bit of schizophrenia going on here. Because nobody actually believes that they're out to kill them when, first of all, she's not even the one being arrested or being put in handcuffs. It's poor little old Brandon here who broke the actual law, and he's the one getting put in handcuffs. She sounds almost like you. Just willing to say whatever bullshit comes out of her mouth, hoping it'll stick, and that the police will take pity on them and think, okay, they're just too stupid, let's just not even deal with it right now. No, that's not how the law works. Somebody who claims to be a 20-year constitutional law scholar should know this.
I believe her.
Back up for me.
Please, I'm begging you. Don't do
Christine.
this. We're gonna die.
No, you're not.
We
Christine,
are gonna
I
die.
need
They're
you back.
trying to kill us. They tried to kill us in there.
You're going next.
Please don't. Please.
You're going next 83. Send additional.
Please don't.
You're gonna have to bear spray me. Stop. Stop. Christine, get out of that car.
I believe her.
Christine, deal with her. Christine, back up. I was in the military. You're gonna have to shoot me. I'm not fucking going.
Exactly. Doesn't want to go to jail.
Okay, see, where this guy just said, I used to be in the military, you're going to have to shoot me. I'm not going to jail. Chille's response to that was, exactly. So now Chille is literally making it okay to die by police. Just because you don't want to go to jail. Okay, what you're about to see is sad, of course. However, what you are going to hear come directly from Chille's mouth, I'm sure, will piss you off to no end, as it has done myself. I have re-recorded my commentary on this section at least 10 times. Because every time I hear him say what he says, my blood boils. Every inch of my body is full of anger. And I cannot portray that. I am trying to stay as calm and collective as I can in this video. But what you're about to hear Chille say is so insane, so dangerous, so stupid, and so illegal that it will piss you off to your core. And this one thing, this statement that Chille makes, is the reason why he is a danger to society and should not be allowed on any social media platform.
Doesn't want to go to jail.
Stop shooting. Hey, get him. Ow! On the ground. Carry the taser. Christine, get back. Go cuff him. Go cuff him. Shoot me in the head.
The taser doesn't
Christine, get back. Stop him. Oh, he's got a gun. He's got a gun. Run. You're calling out CDC. Shots fired. Shots fired. Suspect. Officer shot. Officer shot. Shots fired. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go. Go back. Go back.
You know, if they had treated him with even a bit of decency starting off, then quite possibly that wouldn't have happened. But they walked up to him and said, they grabbed him. Okay, man, you're under the force of the state. And for what? You have a warrant for what? Did he hurt somebody? I bet he didn't. I'll bet.
When I saw the title to this video, Police Officer Shot, He Brought It Upon Himself, I was already pissed off. But I had not seen or heard the extent to what Chille was talking about until I watched it. Chille, you're a fucking idiot. On top of being a fucking idiot, you are a chronic pathological liar, a scammer, and a fraud. And yes, I do say you are a scammer and a fraud. Like many have said already, you are selling what you call an indestructible trifle that has already been proven on video that it is destructible. You are selling a copy of the U.S. Constitution for $7 when everybody can go to Google, type in copy of U.S. Constitution, and download it for free. You're a fraud, too, for all the same reasons. It's not defamation or slander. It's God honest truth. And now you have the nerve to sit here and say that this nasty, pathetic parasite of a person shot this police officer and should get away with it because the police didn't sit down with tea and cookies and sugarcoat the situation for him. No, that's not how life works. You have a warrant, you're going to jail. They're not there to make a criminal's life easy. They're not there to hold your hand and help you get into the back of a patrol car when you have a warrant. And then you want to sit here and say that, oh, well, he has a warrant. And they're probably saying that he hurt someone, but that you don't think that he has. Yet this parasite, just like yourself, pulled a gun. Sorry, a pew-pew. And shot an officer. All because he didn't want to go to jail. On a warrant that his actions created. This parasite, again like yourself, broke the law. The same law that you claim you are for. But you prove every time you open that ugly ass mouth of yours, you prove that you are a liar and a hypocrite. But you actually claim that they should have sat him down and nicely spoken to him and then say, oh, please, sir, can we put these handcuffs on you? Sir, may we take you to jail on this warrant? No. That's not how society works, Chille. You break the law, you go to jail. You break the law and you don't get caught right away. A warrant is put out for your arrest so that you can be held accountable for said crime. How dare you sit there and say that this officer deserves to get shot because he was doing his job and getting a pathetic human being off the street so he couldn't hurt anyone else. That could have been anyone who pissed him off. But you don't care. You hate police so much because you couldn't pass an entry exam. And because you couldn't follow the law your entire life. So you were arrested and had to pay for your actions. And you blame the police because you couldn't follow the law? You narcissistic piece of shit.
The cops she said they're trying to kill us. I believe her. I believe in Lawrence County, Ohio. Had I gone to my bond hearing, I believe I'd either still be in jail in Ironton, Ohio, or I'd be dead today.
I can tell you for a fact you would have gone to jail, which is where you rightfully belong, is in jail. But stop using this bullshit narrative of I would be dead if I went back. You are not that fucking special. You're not the mob. You're not some person on America's Most Wanted list. You are a little peon of a nobody who goes around breaking the law so that you can come on YouTube and beg for money. Beg. Or you find some family who's going through something so horrific in their life, mourning the loss of a child, and you use them to make money for yourself. So stop with giving a shit about how people are, or pretending like you care about people in general, because the only one that you care about, Chille, is yourself. No one else. You don't care about this person, Brandon, or his girlfriend, Christine. You don't. The only thing you care about is the fact that this video of them is going to help you make money. That is the only thing you care about. Just like Lainey Hudson. You didn't care about that little girl. You didn't care about her family. You saw a way to use a grieving family so that you could make money off of them and their loss. Just like you used Tina Slay and the death of her son. Not because you cared about her son, not because you cared about her, not because you cared that the police did something wrong. You only cared because you knew you could make money off of her son's name. And you are still making money off of her son. Because you are a piece of shit.
In the ground. Why do you think I didn't go? I don't want to die for the state.
Sorry to keep pausing, but if you've noticed, no matter what the scenario is, Chille always makes it about himself. Not about the people involved, but about himself. Because he's a narcissistic, lowlife, loser who needs the attention 24/7.
Of course I didn't go to my bond hearing. Of course I sued them, and it won't be fixed until the federal civil rights lawsuit finishes. So,
face it, dumbass. You'll never win the lawsuit. Ever. You didn't go to your bond hearing because you skip out on every court hearing that you have. Whether it's a bond hearing or whether it's a traffic ticket, whatever it is, you skip out and you don't go. So stop acting like Ironton, Ohio is some special thing that you chose to stay away from because you thought, oh my God, I'd be in jail or dead. Oh my God, everybody's out to kill me. You just don't go. Plain and simple. Why? Why do you skip all of these court hearings? Because you know you're guilty. You know you are guilty. And you know you're going to have to pay for what you've done. That's why you don't go to these court hearings.
she said they're trying to kill us. I believe her. I believe her. I believe.
She also didn't sound like she was very mentally stable. And considering you are severely mentally unstable and unhinged, it's not surprising that you would believe another mentally unstable and unhinged person.
So I wouldn't have gone to the dungeon either. And he was adamant about it. So if he's adamant about not going to the dungeon, What is the other option? Is there any other option so he doesn't have to go to the dungeon? Is there any?
First of all, it's not a dungeon yet again. We are not in the Middle Ages. It is called a jail or a cell. And yes, there is another option, dumbass. It's called not breaking the fucking law. Holy shit. I know I'm not the only person in the world to actually think of this. And I have an arrest under my belt. 1 in 47 years alive. The easiest way to stay out of jail, and this is advice for everybody, even though I know my subscribers know this, because my subscribers, unlike Chille subscribers, can think for themselves. They're adults. Everybody should know the only way to avoid jail is to not break the law.
Other option. Can he do anything else, or you just have to go to the jail because these thugs told you you have to go to jail? That's what we're looking at here.
That's what happens when you have a warrant for your arrest. If you don't want a warrant for your arrest, which will later cause you to go to jail, you don't break the fucking law.
I mean, the part for me that was the most riveting about this was right here, where she tells them,
Please step backwards. Please.
Please let him go, please.
she's forewarning them, he's not going to go with you, and you two wimps are not going to take him.
Please step back.
First of all, you can forewarn all you want. Doesn't matter. He has a warrant. He's going to jail. Unless he pulls out a pew-pew and he does what he did. Plain and simple. And you know what? I'm so tired of you calling police wimps and garbage and cowards. Chille, did you know what a coward actually is? Here. Let me explain what a coward actually is, Chille. A coward is somebody who copyright strikes every single person that proves you wrong, or who states the truth about you, and you copyright strike them for 2 reasons. 1, to shut them up, because you don't want people to know the truth, and 2, so that you can dox them. Those are the only 2 reasons that you copyright strike. You can't copyright strike people for using your videos and making commentary. You do the same thing. As a matter of fact, in this video on its own, you are doing exactly why you copyright strike other people for doing. YouTube knows this. Trust me, YouTube knows this. Number 2, you go around telling everybody you're a freaking alpha male because you're trying to convince yourself that not only you are an alpha, but that you're a man. And the fact that you have to continuously try to convince yourself that you are not just an alpha, but that you're also a man, proves that you are neither an alpha or a man. You are a pathetic little boy stuck in a semi-man's body. That's who you are.
Yes.
You.
Stop, Chrissy. Listen to me.
Please, I'm
I need you to stop. Please back up for me.
I'm begging you.
Back up for me.
They're not violent people. She's not attacking them. It could be 2 human beings against 2 human beings, but she's not violent.
Wait, did he legit just say that they are not violent people? Yet this parasite of a human being pulls a pew-pew out and shoots the officer to avoid going to jail. Oh no, they're not violent people at all. Michael Myers wasn't a violent person either. No, he was just trying to show love. He just didn't know how, and that was his way of showing it. Freddy Krueger? Nah. Ted Bundy? Nah, he wasn't violent either. He was just trying to love people. This is Chille's concept, not mine. We all know, hypothetically, we know Michael Myers wasn't real. I mean, loosely based on maybe a serial killer. But we know he wasn't real. Ted Bundy was real. We all know that. And we all know he was a violent man. But according to Chille, as long as it's done to the police, it's not violent. It's not violence at all. It's acceptable. It should be acceptable. Per Chille, it should be acceptable.
Please, I'm begging you. Don't do this. We're going to die.
No, you're not.
We are going to die. They're trying to kill us. They tried to kill us in there.
They tried to kill.
I am going to fast forward through much of this video of the police officers because we've already seen it, and Chille's commentary is so god awful. I will add commentary that he is doing, but there's no point in re-showing the video over and over like he does, because this is how he manipulates and brainwashes his own audience. We are not easily manipulated or brainwashed, but I'm still not going to fill this video up with the same footage over and over and over again.
So, I mean, I guess those coppers just can't hear what she's saying. If I had been drug off to the dungeon and I believed that the people inside of that dungeon were trying to kill me, then I wouldn't willingly go back to that dungeon. And so I believe her that her life was in jeopardy and that she's afraid for her life. We seem to let cops just shoot anybody they want if they say I was in fear for my life. But if you're in fear for your life, where they're going to take you, look what's happening in our country. Take a look at...
Wait a minute. He just sits here and says that we allow cops to just shoot whoever they want to. Yet, didn't we just watch this video where the cop shot anybody, but the person that they were trying to arrest was the one that shot them? I mean, does Chille even watch the video? Or does he skim through it, watch only the parts that he feels is relevant to his narrative, and then that's what he goes off of? Because I'm convinced he has never watched this video to the fullest. I feel like he's just ignoring everything other than what this woman is saying and the man them trying to arrest the man. After that, he mentally blocks out the rest of it. I mean, that's who he is. He has to twist everything to fit his narrative. And his narrative is, all police are bad, the police organization should be defunded, and he also believes that violence on police is acceptable. And he's promoting it in this video. This video that he made is a promotion to police violence. Everything he does, everything he says, more and more, he becomes a danger to society. How do his followers not see this shit? How do they not see it? How do they feel that this is acceptable behavior by society against the police? The only time the police got actually rough with him was when they tased him. They didn't take him to the ground. They didn't hurt him. They waited to even tase him. But, oops, I just spilled my drink. But anyways, but it's okay for them to shoot at the police. Yeah, that's acceptable in Chille's book. Absolutely. And again, we don't live in the freaking Middle Ages. We live in 2023. There are no dungeons. I mean, if somebody drugged me off to a dungeon because King Henry VIII said that he didn't like me and he wanted me to spend some time in the dungeon before he beheaded me, that I wouldn't want to go back to that dungeon if I was let out either. I mean, I don't want to ever go back to jail either. That 24 hours in a cell is pretty horrible. But I would never compare it to an actual dungeon.
What's happening in our country? People are so done with being cuffed and drug off to the dungeon that guy said, I'm not going. I was in the military. You're not going to hold me down. I'm not going. How come you think?
Well, I mean, if you're so sick and tired of being handcuffed and taken off to jail, again, it's common sense. I've said it a million times. Don't break the law, and you won't be handcuffed, and you won't go to jail. It really is that simple, people. I mean, it's not like one of those things where you can go, oh, it's easier said than done. No. It's actually easier done and said. Anybody can sit there and say, I am never going to get arrested because I'm going to follow the law. I mean, you may mess up once or twice in your life. I waited till I was 46 to get arrested because it was a moment of weakness. But I accepted my punishment. And I don't blame the police. That was my fault. Just like whatever happens to this guy, Brandon, is his fault. Your actions have consequences. Always. It makes me think that Chille was literally raised being told that he can do whatever he wants and nobody can stop him or tell him no. And that's the mentality he grew up with. But I'm not too sure about it. We have seen his mother a couple times, and she doesn't seem like the dingbat, batshit crazy mom that would actually do that. I mean, considering a lot of his family members have protective orders against him, I seriously doubt that's how he was raised. But this is all something that he picked up, and then he thought one day, you know, if I go against the police, there's a few thousand people that'll side for me or on my side, and then I can just take their money whenever I need money. I mean, it probably only took him half a page to write out his life goal right there. He tried TikTok first, but he proved himself to be a racist and pretty much got chased off of TikTok, and now he's on YouTube doing it. It's just astounding that he is still allowed to even be on a platform.
That is. Why do you think someone says, I'm not going? I'm not. I don't ever want to be cuffed again. Last time I was arrested by LVMPD, if I didn't allow them to torture me with the torture cuffs, they were going to tase me.
Yeah, nobody tortured you anyways, and you were put in handcuffs, not torture cuffs. And no offense, Chille, but I kind of wish they had tased you. I don't know, maybe it would have jump-started a part of your brain that would have taught you to stop doing this stupid shit. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that that's what would have happened. I don't wish for anybody to get hurt. But let's face it, his brain needs a jump start because not one part of it is functioning.
3 dudes standing around me, and then they sat and tortured me where my hand is numb.
No, they didn't.
I got numbness all through my hand.
Coming from somebody who has lived with nerve damage for the past 15 years of my life, I can tell you just by his hand movements, he does not have nerve damage in his hand. And he has full feeling and function of his hand. So he can keep playing and spinning this broken record over and over and over again, but he's not going to win the lawsuit because the judge will see through his bullshit, and he'll see that all Chille's trying to do is get a big paycheck, and that's all this is about.
So why would I want to be put in torture cuffs? We heard from that Lieutenant Piggy yesterday that their policy is once it's for officer safety, you have to go in torture cuffs. That kid wasn't going in torture cuffs, and now I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he died. I don't know the final outcome of that story.
What do you mean you think he died? He wasn't even shot. Do you not remember the video? He shot the cop. He wasn't shot. So now you're going to sit there and say that he's probably never going to jail because he's dead. But then you follow that up with, well, I don't know anything about the story. I don't know what happened after the story, blah, blah, blah. That's what's wrong with you and what's wrong with your audience is that none of you know how to do research. None of you know how to look shit up. You just run your mouth and hope that people don't research it. Why don't you try looking it up first and then reporting on it? Oh, that's right, because you're not a journalist either. You're also not press or an auditor or a sovereign citizen. You're just some desperate little loser who's using people and lying to them. That you fit in your own category.
So that's what we're looking at. There's people who are just, when the constitutional cities start to rise up.
Okay, so here we go. It took me less than a minute to find this. But yet Chille couldn't be bothered to do this before he made his video. Because, you know, he can't be bothered with the truth or anything like that. Unfortunately, yes, Brandon passed away. Unfortunately. You know, I would have rather seen him go to prison rather than die. But his death was his fault. He would have never been shot if he hadn't have fired shots first at the police. It's just a sad, unfortunate truth. And now Christine's going to have to live with this for the rest of her life because she chose to cry and act like a mental case rather than have some sense and help share that sense with Brandon. Because he might actually be alive today had she done so. So we have here dash cam video release showing suspect trooper exchange shots during fatal officer-involved shooting near Mount Vernon, Illinois. A suspect died and an Illinois State Police trooper was wounded after exchanged gunshots near Mount Vernon, Illinois, early Tuesday morning, police tell News 4. What year was it? Was this year? Yeah, it was May 9th of this year. The shooting happened on eastbound 164 near milepost 72 at 3:30 a.m. Tuesday. Police tell News 4 that the trooper stopped to assist a stranded driver and encountered 23-year-old Brandon Griffin. Oh my God, he was only 23 years old. That is so sad. Of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and his wife inside the car. A second ISP trooper arrived short time later. After both troopers were on scene, dash cam video shows both of them talking with Griffin and his wife, Christine Santos, 31, who they say gave them false name and date of birth 3 times. At that point, you know they're hiding something. They knew that they had warrants for their arrest, and that's why they were doing that. So they knew. They knew that they were going to be arrested if they gave the correct information. So again, reaction is caused by your action. If you just give them the correct information and they unfortunately see you have warrants, and then you go to jail and you take care of those warrants. You don't do what he did, what Brandon did. Anyways, when officers were checking Griffin's records, they say they found he had an arrest warrant for felony weapons charge. Oh my God. Wait, didn't Chille say that the warrant, he had a warrant, but it was probably not because he hurt someone and that they weren't violent? I'm sorry, but anybody with a felony weapons charge more than likely is a violent person. And I'm not saying everybody who has a weapons charge is violent, but I think Brandon showed firsthand that he is violent, or was violent. And that Santos had pending felony warrants for weapon offenses. My God, both of them. Police then tried to take Griffin into custody. He is seen on video resisting arrest. One officer is then seen trying to tase Griffin, who pulled out a gun before he exchanged shots with troopers. Police say the trooper was injured and Griffin was killed. The wounded trooper, a 16-year veteran of ISP, was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, thankfully. He has since been released. The other trooper and Santos were not injured. All lanes of eastbound I-64 were closed for several hours. Santos is being held in Jefferson County, Illinois jail. Good. Get her off the road before she does the same thing her husband Brandon did. Now, I usually will post a video about Chille's video so that we can poke and have fun at how stupid he is. And so that it gives me an opportunity to correct him because he's always wrong. Unfortunately, this video just shows and proves how dangerous he is. This is a prime example of why Chille needs to be removed from social media platforms. He is going to be the reason why either one of his followers or a police officer or an innocent bystander stander is going to be seriously injured or killed. See, he seems to think what he says, nobody's going to take it serious. Unfortunately, his followers are a lot of people who don't think for themselves, who latch on to every word Chille says, and they hold it tightly like it's a freaking security blankie. And one day, it will happen. Either by Chille's doing or by one of his followers. And before that happens, we need to get him off social media platforms so that he cannot continue his hatred, his violent videos and rhetoric. This cannot continue. I mean, this is like giving a warlord a free seat on social media so that they can say what they want and build an army, and nobody does anything about it until it's too late. And that's what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to Chille until it's too late. And that just cannot happen. We've learned from so many other past mistakes that when we see the red flags, the situation needs to be taken seriously. And these red flags with Chille have been flashing for, 2 years now. I think that's long enough. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Take care, be safe, and I love each and every one of you.